Hey guys, Future Gohan back again for another video, and I am here collabing with Chris, the awesome NeoGameSpark, and we are here to do a collaboration review of The Boy and the Beast, the newest Mamoru Hosoda film. Honest opinion, I think this movie is fantastic, to be honest with you. Some problems here and there, though. Some problems here and there, but I thought it was great. Great message. What do you think?
Yeah, overall, I have pretty much the same opinion on it. The story of the movie is basically it follows this character named Ren. He recently lost his mother; she passed away, and it's sort of, I guess you could say, a coming of age feature on a boy who really just is not satisfied with his life that he's living right now. He feels alone. He doesn't like anything that he's doing. And so throughout the course of the movie, it's basically him coming into his own through the help of these mythical beast creatures in the Beast Kingdom. And what I really liked about the movie overall was I loved its balance of things. Like it knew when to have humor, it knew when to go really serious and dramatic, and just overall it had a really good cast of main and supporting characters. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the character of Kyuta so much because any kid or even teenager can relate to him because you get to see him grow up uh you know as a little boy in the human world, and then when he later transitions over to the beast world, you get to see his character grow, and you get to see that he also deals with problems that other people deal with, and he gets to learn from them, and he gets to teach other people with similar problems how to get over them. And I actually mentioned this to you, and I would like to mention this idea to everyone watching. I think that this film makes a fantastic parallel to the childhood book, Where the Wild Things Are, because Where the Wild Things Are, despite having quite a less of a tragic beginning, it is about a boy who, runs away and goes into this world full of beasts and monsters and becomes friends with them, but they also have problems that he shares, that he's been meaning to get over. So he teaches them how to get over their problems, which are also his problems. So he gets over them too. And but this is just kind of more like the anime dark gritty version, in my opinion. It's just a funny parallel, I like to think. I think it fits together pretty well. But yeah, I like the characters. I thought Kumatetsu was really good. Of a teacher. I mean, he was a shitty teacher, but I mean, let's be honest. He, but I mean, he was a cool character, I thought, and his rivalry with Eozen was nice. And I don't know, I thought everything in this film was pretty solid with its characters at the very least.
Right, yeah, I really did enjoy, since you mentioned Where the Wild Things Are, how Kyuta is also, he has his own problems that he's overcoming, but all the other characters, especially his teacher, Kumatetsu, they have their own issues. And what I really like is that throughout the movie, as these characters grow older, they grow wiser, their bond becomes stronger. You actually see that they still have those self doubts within them. So it's not just a case of, hey, let's do a montage, and after the montage they're suddenly better. No, these characters are still going through their issues, and I thought that was played very well. One of the things that I think I really did enjoy, and this is kind of, I guess, it's a minor part of the film, it's not a major part, is in true Mamoru Hosoda fashion, probably not for you because you haven't seen any of the recent ones, this movie is very much so placed in modern day Japan. And by that, what I mean is you're seeing a lot of pop culture references imbued in the scenery. You're seeing a lot of stores in there like Forever 21 and Citibank and all that stuff. And I know that's not a main part of the movie that you should really point out, but I loved how it kind of immersed you a little bit more in the movie, because nowadays they're just going so hard to make it seem like, hey, this could actually happen, and it seems so familiar. I thought that was cool. But there was something that I wanted to bring up that I guess kind of be deemed as a negative, as something I didn't enjoy. It was kind of the abrupt shift in the character of Kyoto, like halfway through the movie after the time skip. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when I mention this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, after you see Kyuta's growing with Kumatetsu in his training, and if you guys do not want to be spoiled, please click off to another part of the video, which I'll have annotated there. Halfway through the movie, after you see Kyota's grown into this fine young man, he basically finds out that he can go back to the human world, and he has not been to the human world in, oh man, what is it, like 10 years?
Because let's see, he's 9 when he first gets there, and he is I want to say 18. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
been about 10 years.
So
Yeah.
like 9, 10 years. He's around the college age, and basically he goes back to the human world. And the normal thought process would be, oh man, I haven't been here in a while. This is crazy. This is strange. But he suddenly gets this desire to go back to the human world and stay there for no apparent reason. Like, you would think that if he was exposed to all this other stuff and he wants to go there because this is his true calling, that'd be one thing. But he just goes there, he meets this girl, and he's like, I want to go to the human world to be a human. Even though he's been raised by the beasts for the past 10 years. It felt like that part could have been a really interesting character angle, but they just kind of said, hey, he wants to be in the human world now for no reason. Like,
Yeah, I kind of agree. I felt that that definitely could have been explored more because it kind of really comes out of nowhere. Because, I mean, you see him putting so much into his fighting and his training and martial arts and everything for 10 years. Then he goes back to the human world, kicks these thugs' ass who are trying to mess with this girl, and then he's like, yo, what up? And then he starts talking to her, and then she's like, hey, you should study and do this exam. And he's like, all right, cool, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's cool, I guess. I mean, we don't have to explore exactly how you got to that point, but I mean, I just thought it was weird.
yeah, it'd be one thing if it was like internal struggle within him. Like, does he want to be man or does he want to be beast? I mean, we've seen that told in different stories time and time again, so it's not a new concept. But it just feels to me like they said, okay, we're gonna try to do this one. Not really. We need a love interest, so introduce this one chick, and yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate them for not, going the cliched route, but I mean, there could have been, a little bit more of like, explaining why he would even want to study and take an exam when he's living perfectly fine in the beast world. There's no problems over there other than the fact that he fights with
Kumatetsu.
Komatetsu all the time.
Yeah, and it was very strange how he really had no problems in the beast world, and then suddenly he wants to go back to the human world, which was the source of all his problems, his anger, his aggression, his loneliness, and it just felt really out of place throughout the movie, but it definitely does pick up from that point on, and there is a really satisfying conclusion. My main issue overall in the movie outside of that section is that I feel like Jamie mentioned, they could have gone deeper with certain things more than they did. Like the relationship with Kumatetsu. We get the fact that these two are training together, they're living together day in, day out, they're putting work and they're growing as, individuals, both of them through the help of one another. But they were trying to go towards this fatherly bond angle towards the midpoint in the movie where of course there's a conflict, and he was just like, you're not my dad, and I'm just like, oh no, they did not pull that card. Like, if there was something like they brought up the fact that he really hasn't known his family well ever since his mom died and his dad disappeared, and they bonded, yeah, that'd be one thing. But it's just like they pull that father card towards the end, and I'm just like, oh, here we go. But was there anything
Yeah.
else that you wanted to say as far as like complaints for the film?
Um, Not really, other than just the fact that it could have really taken its time a little bit more
Right.
and explained a little bit more things. And I noticed that it skips time like a lot. Like it just like, all right, you're an adult now. It's just like
Yeah.
okay.
It's like
But I
the
mean,
9 years just go by like that.
yeah, and it's just I don't know. I just felt it could have taken more time, but I really, really, really appreciate the message it tries to bring across.
Right.
And to be real, to be real, after the movie, I may have been a little overwhelmed with emotions a little bit.
Did the feels
Uh,
get to you, future Gohan?
a little bit.
You just say it with your chest, bro. Say what you were actually feeling.
Hey man, that movie was sad at the end, man. I don't want to
Yeah.
do any spoilers, but
Yeah, it basically there was a certain moment in the movie where even though you kind of had your issues with what they were doing, you still couldn't help but feel for it. And it just, when the music comes in and it's striking you right there, it's like, oh no.
it's that chord.
It just hits that chord. But overall, The Boy and the Beast, I think that, you know, regardless of the issues that we had from that perspective, it is still very much so a watchable movie, very enjoyable, very entertaining, and the English dub, of course, is spot on. It's fantastic. Funimation is always upping the bar when it comes to performances, and one thing I really do like about the movie is that like it goes back to whole Funimation's effort to bring in more films over at a faster pace. The movie came out in Japan last summer, and we've already gotten the dub this year. That is just insanely cool, in theaters no less. So if you haven't seen The Boy and the Beast yet, and it's still playing in your theaters, I doubt because it was only a limited release, then definitely check it out. It's worth seeing. But if you haven't, I'm pretty sure Funimation will be announcing the home media releases at some point. But overall, great anime film, worth checking out. Spot on English voice acting, featuring an all-star cast from John Swayze to Ian Sinclair, Eric Vale, Lucy Christian, the whole shebang bang. But final thoughts on The Boy and the Beast, Future Gohan?
Awesome movie, awesome message, awesome action scene at the end.
Right.
Could have used a little bit more time on just the characters and their development. But other than that, I thought it was a very, very beautiful film. One thing I will definitely say about this movie is you could honestly, not to say that the dialogue is useless or pointless, it's actually helps the film a lot, but I am going to say this. You could honestly watch this movie without any, like if you muted your TV and you're watching this on TV and you hit mute, you would honestly get everything that this movie is trying to bring across equally as much as you would with the sound, because it's just that visually impressive. It's able to get its story and its characters and everything it's trying to get across with its visuals alone, and that is it's a very beautiful movie. It's a really, really good looking movie, but the dialogue helps a lot too. It really helps complete the picture. It's really nice. I really think this movie is a nice movie. All right, guys. So that's what we thought of Boy and the Beast. What did you guys think? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Comment below. Let me know. And me and Chris are going to catch you guys later.
Peace.